Hi guys, hello! I'm Gabby for those of you who don't know me, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, it's spooky season and I have my tiny little pumpkin there, and even though it's like freaking 30 degrees outside in Celsius, chill out my Fahrenheit people. It's so hot outside, but I still have my coffee and my turtleneck and this like Halloween makeup on because I'm ready to get into the spirit of October. And as preparation for Halloween, I decided to do only scary Halloween-ish type related videos for this month. And the first one, well technically the second one of this month, it's my top 5 scary movies of all time. This top 5 is from my personal liking, and it's all the movies that I cannot not watch when it's Halloween time. So I just thought it would be fun to share with you guys and see what do you think about them. Maybe you have the same liking as me, maybe you don't, and I would be very glad to hear. So without any further ado, let's go! Oh yeah, by the way, there's not gonna be any spoilers here, so if you want to check these movies out for yourself, I won't be ruining them for you, don't worry about it. The first movie I want to talk about is Trick or Treat, and I feel like this is such an underrated movie that needs to be talked about more. It's not really scary per se, but the whole thing, like everything about it is so cool. And this movie is like a compilation of short stories, and they all like sort of connect at some point to each other. And it's just so cool the way they try to tell the story and make you feel part of the story too. And it's full of twists. You never know what's gonna happen. You're like, oh yeah, it's totally gonna happen. And then like, bam, something else. And you're like, oh, that makes more sense. I feel like that's so nice because it keeps you on the edge, but not like, it's not full of jump scares. It's not like in your face, like rah rah, like a lot of movies nowadays. So I do recommend to watch this movie if you're into more of like a unexpected terror, I would say. And I give this movie a 5 out of 5. I think this is the one that's gonna be highest in my ranking because I totally love it. I can never miss it. And sometimes they have it on TV, and I'm pretty sure you can find it illegally maybe on the internet. You can find anything on the internet these days. So make sure to watch that one. That one is a must for this season. The second movie I want to talk about is It Follows. This movie, when I first heard the premise about this movie, I was like, so it's basically an STD. So I'm not gonna spoil it again, but the whole thing about this movie is that you get this like haunted STD sort of thing, and you pass it on by having, you know, intercourse with other people. And it's like a demon that haunts you, and there is no way to get rid of it, apparently. But the way they make the demon or the entity appear in this movie is so scary to me. It's not even like an ugly demon, I guess, but it's just so like psychologically horrifying that if I saw myself in that situation, I would literally not know what to do. It's also like, I don't remember if it's gory. There's probably just one scene that's kind of gory, but the point about it is that they don't need to do a lot to scare you. Like, to me, it's a very scary movie and so well done. Like, the narrative, the way they tell the story about the main characters makes you feel really involved in the movie. And again, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? I really don't want to spoil it, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. You should really give it a watch. Just maybe if you're just curious, because the premise of the movie is it's literally like a haunted STD. And if that doesn't tell you anything, I'm not sure what will. So make sure to watch it and let me know down in the comments down below if you liked it or not. I would give this movie a 4.5 out of 5 just because there's like one thing or another thing that I'm just like, wait, that makes no sense. But it's still a very good movie. The photography is really nice, and the actors are also like really good, not gonna lie. And I'm not sure if they're well-known actors, but they did such a good job. Anyway, I recommend you to watch this movie if you're in the mood of haunted STD. Third movie I'm gonna talk about. This might be surprising because a lot of people consider it as a garbage scary movie, and a lot of people, like the other half, consider it as such a good new scary movie, I guess. Like, it does the old techniques of scaring. It's Sinister Part 1. Yeah, Part 1. Part 2, we don't know her, she's gone, she's cancelled, she doesn't exist, Miss Thing is gone. The reason why I like Sinister 1 is because I think the way they tell you the story and the way they connect to the main character is so genius. it not only talks about, you know, there's a haunting going on, because obviously the movie is called Sinister, but there's also some like personal issues the main character has to go through, and those personal issues are what ultimately lead him to, you know, probably dying, probably not dying, probably haunting his whole family and probably dooming them to an eternity in hell. No spoilers, but it's so interesting. I like it when movies don't only do, like the Babadook movie. This one is not on the list, but it's a good watch too. But that movie, it's like talks about depression, and it makes it like this entity that haunts the person, and it's the same thing with Sinister. I also like the main character a lot. I think is it Kevin Bacon? I'm sorry, Ethan Hawke. But I really like his acting a lot. I think he carries a lot of the movie, and that's why the movie is a success. Because the entity itself, it's not scary. Like the monster, when you see it, it's like, it looks like a Slipknot. I'm so sorry, but it looks like one of those like hardcore rock singers. I think that's the genre. I don't know, but Ethan Hawke, I don't remember his name in the movie. He carries a lot of it, and you can really see how he connected so well with the character that it makes you feel the same way. There's really not a lot of characters in this movie, so it's really just him and then the occasional ghost that's like, "Hi, how are ya?" I definitely recommend this one. It's more like a popcorn, you know, Netflix movie. I think it was Netflix, I'm not sure. And I'll give this movie a 3 out of 5 just cause, you know, they do use a lot of jump scares, and ultimately the ghost that's supposed to be like what's scary. Well, it's not a ghost, it's a demon, I think. It's supposed to be what's scary. It really isn't that scary because, you know, it looks like one of those singers. And also, I think the script is very nice. There's also like a few little cliche things that are like, you could have probably cut that out. But overall, it's a really good movie. It really like disturbed me. It's kind of gory, that I would say. Like there's some parts that really get to disturb you, and that's why I think it's really good. Like you just don't know what to expect. You're just like, and then you're like, oh, that really happened. I really wish I could tell you more about it, but I really recommend you to watch it. I'm just gonna say one thing: Lawnmower. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, right? For a movie I'm going to be talking about is one of my all-time favorite. It's Train to Busan. Okay, hear me out. It might not be considered a scary movie because it made me cry, alright? Like it's one of those movies that can make you cry but scare the crap out of you too. It's a zombie movie, and it's a South Korean movie. It went viral because it's just that good. A lot of people compare it to World War Z because the premise is kind of like the same thing, but it's a little bit better in its own way. So this movie, the acting makes it so good. Oh my god, the makeup and special effects for that movie is just top notch. The zombies look literally terrifying. This movie is kind of gory, and if you're a little bit impressionable, you should probably skip on this one. The story is really nice. It's not only about the zombies, but it tells you something else about the characters and why all this happened and the government. And it's just like the zombies are kind of there, but then the stories of the main characters is what draws you into the movie, which is why I cried at the end of the movie. And I give this movie actually a 4 out of 5, just because, I don't know, Trick or Treat is a really nice movie, and Train to Busan I think it's more like a Hollywood thing. Well, not really Hollywood because it's not an American movie, but it's appealing for those audiences, and it has a lot of like Hollywood techniques that I'm kind of not fond of. But if you do want to entertain yourself and watch a good Korean movie, a good Korean scary movie, I recommend that. And my last recommendation, number 5, is also a Korean movie. It's called A Tale of Two Sisters. I remember watching this movie like 2 or 3 years ago, and at first I was expecting like in-your-face jump scares, in-your-face scary, in-your-face blood. And as I was watching, I was like a little bit underwhelmed because I was like, nothing's happening. And a little bit of the movie carries you like that. It's just like making you want for something to happen, and it leads you to this whole narrative. And when you're towards the climax, or you think you know like, oh, that's happening, it's like, no, here's the plot twist, and everything you knew comes crumbling down, and you're like, wait, is this a new movie? Like, what's happening? It's not scary in the sense that there's like constant jump scares, constant this, but it's more about psychological terror. And it's also those frames that doesn't necessarily have to be like dunk and it's scary. It's more of like the makeup and the build up and the sound effects and the acting. I love a good plot twist and I love a good ending. I can't tell you much about it without spoiling the entire movie and like the entire experience, because this movie, I feel like it's an experience. Like I said, it brings you to a place and then it drops you, literally. And I would give this movie a 4 out of 5 stars. To me, it wasn't that memorable. There's some things here and there that I'm like, oh yeah, what was this scene about? But I couldn't even remember the name of the movie. It's kind of forgettable. But you should definitely watch it if you're in the mood of like being a little bit scared of your kitchen. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay guys, so that was the end of the video. I do hope that you liked my recommendations, and if you did, leave a comment down below and tell me which one was your favorite movie if you end up watching any of them. We might have similar tastes, but if we don't, let me know which one is your favorite scary movie, because myself, I'm always in the hunt for good scary movies since I do watch them all year long, and sometimes I do run out of options. If you want to see more spooky things, or if there's anything else you want to see on this channel, please let me know in the comments down below. You can also tag me on my Instagram, on TikTok, or on Twitter. All my social media is linked down below. And for next week, I have a very, very exciting collab for a makeup tutorial. Just wait and see. If you don't want to miss that collab, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell in somewhere down here. And that was it from me, guys. I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you next time in my channel. Bye!